are going to be going, because I forgot to bring a dress, but if I do, then yes.
Good afternoon. I guess my question is, what's your most challenging voice acting role? And one small request, sample of Keiko from the Hockey Show.
No problem. I would say my most challenging part, gosh, you know, honestly, Sana, which was like a total blast to play, but that part was really, really hard. That's Sana on Kodacha, and like, she talks like so incredibly fast, and at first I didn't think that was going to be too much of a problem, because I kind of talk fast anyway, but yeah, you get in the booth and it's like literally like pass out fast, and I had to like load up on Red Bull and other sorts of sugary goodness, because when we first started, Colin Cookie was my director, and she was relentless. Like, she was like, do it again, do it again, do it again, and I was like, please. I was like sitting on the floor of the booth like, I can't go anymore. So yeah, that part was pretty difficult, and in the end there, when I was self-directing, it was kind of difficult because you don't know what's funny, because if you're laughing at it in the booth, you know, that's all good and dandy, but you don't know if anybody else will, and if you're just like in some delusional world of goodness. So, and then, let's see.
Oh, there you are, Yusuke. Mr. Takanaka's been looking for you.
Like awesome line of Keiko's, but that was the line I always used when I would get in the booth. That was my line to get in voice. So it's a little sample. Yes.
Hi. I was wondering, what was it like for you to work on the Blood Rain games?
Oh yeah.
They're like my ultimate favorite PlayStation games.
Sweet.
And could you say something from Blue Gender?
Blue Gender. Give me something. That was like a long time ago. You got a line?
Something involving Yuji.
Yuji, yeah, she says Yuji a lot. Yuji, get in the truck now! And the Blood Rain games were so much fun, because video games are different than anime, because a lot of them are prelay, which means you get to go in and do it and they animate to your voice, rather than you voicing to the animation. Thanks for the ride, bitches. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and we had interesting ways of making all like the blood-sucking noises and everything, so that was... I sucked on my arm. That's what I would be in the booth, and it was disgusting, and it was grosser because like that booth has like a really big like window to where all the engineers, the director can like stare at you, and I'm like sitting there like just looking at you like you're crazy. But it worked.
First, I'd really like to say that I love you as Toruhana, and I love you as Lust as well.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to ask you to do like a little reverse. Can you say one of Lust lines in like the Toru voice? Because that would be so funny.
Well, if it isn't the Full Metal Alchemist.
What is your favorite part about doing Kodacha, and what is your most memorable line from Kodacha? Actually, two questions then.
My favorite part about doing Kodacha is that it's funny and that I get to kind of ad-lib when we're in the booth, and so like you kind of put your own jokes into the show and like just go crazy. And like there was one point when in the show I called somebody a popcorn head, and that was from like my childhood. We used to call that. So it was a lot of fun. And what else did you ask me to do?
What was your most memorable part?
Oh, the most memorable, oh gosh, probably the rapping. I mean, just in general, the rapping, just because that's something you don't usually get to do while you're in a show, and they were always so crazy and weird, and it was so much fun, like, after I'd been doing the show for a little bit, because then you got to know, like, really what the beats were, and, like, you could kind of just, like, try to do it all in one take and see if you could get it down. It was so much fun. So. He's way, oh, she's next, but you're so next after her.
My question was actually about the rapping. How hard was it to create those different raps for Kadacha, like, every single episode?
Well, luckily I'm not the writer, so I didn't have to do it. The only times that I, like, really helped writing on the raps was when, like, I would get, and I'd have the lyrics in front of me, and I'd be hearing the beat, and I was just like, I do not understand how they thought this rhymed or worked with the beat, because, like, you don't have the writers in front of you, and, you know, they probably had something working in their head, but then you get it, and it's just like, it does not fit to the beats, and so we do some, like, rewriting and everything, but it was fun.
Pardon me, of Yuki and Kyo, which one did you prefer?
Okay, here's my disclaimer. I don't have a disclaimer. I like Kyo. But the reason I say that, okay, I think Toru definitely, like, I like that romance better, just because I think Yuki was so much more, like, gentlemanly and brotherly, and, like, I go for the bad guys, so. Yeah.
Can you rap as Toru?
As Toru? I don't think I can, because I don't think Toru has rhythm. So it'd be like the worst rap ever. I don't. Oh my god, it's like. Okay. Oh, Toru's sweet mood goes up and down. I slept in this morning. It's not unusual. Made it to school, but just becomes so brutal. Oh god, it's bad. I can't do it.
I guess anything in the Kid Trunks voice, anything you can think of?
Say something in Kid Trunks voice?
Sure.
Goten is like so weak. I could like beat him up with my hands tied behind my back. I could beat him up with only one leg and he would get his...
Oh, I was about to cuss. I'll stop there. Hello.
Hi. Did you enjoy working on Moonface?
On what?
Moonface.
Moonface. Oh God, yeah. That show's awesome. I played Hero Me on Moonface, which is directed by Colin Think Beard, and it was so cool because that show is so dark and like kind of, you know, subtle. It's the same as like Gunslinger Girl, like doing that show, because it's nice to be able to do something and not have to be over the top with everything. And on Moonface especially, I got to do my own voice, which was something that was very odd in the booth because I don't usually use my own voice, and it always felt like I should have been doing something more when I was recording, but yeah, it was a really awesome experience.
Hi. I'm just wondering, like, I wondered about this with everyone, how did you become a voice actor? Like, how did you get there?
I started voice acting when I was 19 years old. And I was in a play in Dallas, and I was in the play with a man named Kent Williams, who played Dr. Zero on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, Victoria, Prince Basket. And he kind of took me under his wing, and he was very fatherly to me and everything, and he told me about Funimation auditioning, and at the time, Funimation was a pretty new company. They didn't have a lot of girls working over there, and so the audition was really easy to get into. We just kind of called Chris Abbott up, and he was like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, hey, can I come audition? He's like, yeah, come on. So I went in and I auditioned, and I originally got cast to play Dende, because he was already cast, but the woman who played him was like in Mexico. They couldn't get a hold of her. They didn't know what the heck to do, so they used me to voice match. So I just tried to sound just like her, and I recorded like 4 or 5 episodes as Dende. And then like 3 weeks went by and nobody called me, and then finally Chris Abbott called me and he's like, hey, I know this isn't my job, but we found her. She came back, so we re-recorded all your stuff. Sorry. It was really sad. And I was heartbroken for about 3 months until they called me in and said, come audition, because we're having auditions for Kid Trunks and Go 10 and all that stuff. And so I got cast.